welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topic on Newscast tonight, St. Croix residents braved the storm Saturday to vote in the primary election despite warning reports. Almost 10,000 people voted across the territory. The ones who participated said every election is important, so they had to take part in that process no matter what the weather. News 2's Erica Parsons has that story.
Tropical Storm Bertha didn't stop or delay Saturday's primary election, even with reports from Vitima urging people to stay indoors.
It's a very rainy day today, but I came out to vote. Some of these umbrellas and coverings actually just got blown over.
Campaigners suffered the heavy rains and occasional wind gusts to encourage votes for their candidates. At times, the wind was so high it lifted campaign tents off the ground, but it wasn't enough to keep some voters home.
When I turned the corner and I saw the same setting as though the sun was blazing hot in the sky, it warmed my heart, and I am very pleased. It brought confirmation to me that I am not the only one in this territory who feels that we have to do this come rain, sun or shine.
Compared to what people used to go through back in the day, some people did not have a right to vote. And I think I take this very seriously, and a little weather shouldn't stop someone from coming out to vote.
Typically, a lot less people vote during a primary than a general election, but the bad weather didn't seem to affect St. Croix's turnout as much as it did in the St. Thomas, St. John district.
In St. Thomas, we had 27% turnout this time. In St. Croix, we had 40%, and that's good, although the weather was worse in St. Croix. Primary is usually up to about 40%. It depends on the year. And for the general, we usually get 65%.
This year's primary was a test for the brand new elections leadership. It was also a test for the new voting tabulators purchased last year and put into service for the first time during the primary.
It was very easy, very, very easy. I have no problem with it. I was number 81, and I'm glad that people are coming out in this weather.
The voting was very easy, and I thought that it was going to be a very long line, but of course the weather is probably keeping some people away. But I enjoyed voting, and it was actually a combination between the paper and electronic, because we scanned it in and it counted my vote.
The polls weren't without their challenges.
Our biggest challenge was St. John. The board member did not get up there, and we worked all morning trying to get to St. John. The seas were rough.
Still, elections officials urge residents to visit the website at vivote.gov to complete an exit survey about your experience at the polls. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Meanwhile, on St. Thomas, voters also headed to the polls. Some polling stations did hit a few snags. They were either interrupted or delayed because of glitches in the Express Poll 5000, the electronic ledgers that voters sign when they get to the polling site. Some problems also had to do with the machines being plugged into extension cords instead of wall outlets. Those errors were corrected, according to Election Supervisor Fox, as soon as they were discovered. Other than those hurdles, the general reaction from voters was that the new voting process was easy and efficient.
People are coming. It's a little bit slow, but actually, I think given the conditions of the weather, it's pretty good. We're still hoping that by the time the polls close at 7 o'clock, that enough people will come out to make a difference in this election.
It's a lot better than last year, and I'm glad I came out to exercise my right. It was easy with the ballot, and then you push it through the machine, and it selects, and it shows you that your vote counts. But I had a question to ask, and I asked, may I ask a question? And they sent the one who was working with that section, and she came out to help me.
Well, a new way of tallying votes is getting good reviews from election officials and voters. Plus, 2 women emerged as winners in 2 of the biggest election races over the weekend. While election results are unofficial until August 12, who made the cut to proceed to the November general elections? News 2's April Knight has that story.
As soon as the polling places close on Saturday, all eyes are on the election system offices where the tally begins.
Poll workers and judges could be seen bringing in boxes and bags, but the actual vote data comes in jump drives like this. So gone are the days of long vigils waiting for each vote to be called out and counted.
A technician checks if the jump drives returned are the same ones that went out to rule out switching. Once it's confirmed, another technician plugs in the drives into a special computer that reads the data. The votes are updated in real time on these monitors.
It's a great improvement with automation.
less time. By 9:30, we out of here. 10 minutes, like you said, getting the reports. And like I said, we're going to improve on that process.
The process went very, very, very smooth. You know, I think we have a lot of people. We got more praises than negatives.
The results are still unofficial until all absentee ballots are counted. But even keeping those in mind, some winners seem to have already secured their spot. Donna Christensen and Basil Otley easily clinched the Democratic nomination with 34% of the votes. St. Croix showed up strong for Stacey Plaskett, who won the Democratic nomination for delegate to Congress over Sean Michael Malone and Emma Tanson. On St. Croix, newcomers topped the senatorial race, with Kurt Vialet at the top, followed by Novelle Francis. Diane Capehart trails at number 7, but Polly Arnold is only 30 votes behind. On St. Thomas, incumbents take top spots. Clifford Graham took in the most votes, followed by Myron Jackson. Newcomer Gene Ford takes 3rd place. Marvin Blyden finally got in, but at number 7, and with Sean Georges votes behind, absentee votes need to hold strong for him to hang on to that spot. The election system has until August 12th to certify the final tally. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
In other news, gubernatorial candidates may have to face former Judge Soraya Diasi-Kofeld and her running mate John Canegata in November. After all, the team announced Saturday that they are back on the ballot based on an order issued by the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. The Kofeld-Canegata team filed an appeal last month after the VI elections supervisor ruled them ineligible to run on the same ticket with different political party affiliations. Federal Judge Wilma Lewis upheld the decision to keep them off the ballot. Kofeld doesn't belong to a party and Canegata is registered as a Republican. The team is waiting for the Third Circuit Court to issue its opinion. Well, as we reported earlier, the weather did not stop the voters from getting to the polls as Tropical Storm Bertha passed about 60 miles south of St. Croix. It did, however, cause the cancellation of some flights, cruise ship changes, and power interruptions. On Friday, emergency management officials were in preparation mode, carefully tracking the path of Tropical Storm Bertha. Fatima activated its Emergency Operations Center. Agency heads received updates on the storm. They also gave their department's level of readiness as the territory prepared for the worst and hoped for the best on Friday. The overall feeling on Saturday was relief. On St. Thomas, throughout the day, residents and workers could be seen cleaning up and assessing what little damage Bertha had done. However, on St. Croix, Fatima reported that the St. Croix call center received reports of fallen tree limbs on Melvin Evans Highway and minor flooding on both Melvin Evans and Queen Mary Highway and the D.C. Canegata Ballpark, as well as downed mahogany trees. WAPA crews responded to a number of power line fires, blown transformers, and downed power lines. On St. Thomas Sunday, generating units number 14 and number 18 at the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority's Randolph-Harley Power Plant failed to operate. Repair crews assessed the units and determined extensive repairs were warranted. Based on the need to provide service to customers, emergency feeder rotations were immediately implemented on 3-hour rotation schedules. The weather also forced the cancellation of several seaborne and Cape Air flights on St. Thomas and St. Croix. Bertha, the second named storm of the 2014 Atlantic hurricane season, dumped up to 3 inches of rainfall on isolated areas on St. Croix, according to the National Weather Service, and sustained winds of 44 miles per hour and a wind gust of 72 miles per hour. Tropical storm warning for the territory was discontinued Saturday evening. Now, 2 sets of rotation schedules have been implemented thus far, Monday 6 a.m. to 12 and 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, additionally, an extended schedule was established for Monday 6 p.m. to midnight. Now, WAPA says the feeder rotation schedule is tentative and subject to change. After carefully observing the progress, the 6 p.m. to midnight schedule, a determination will be made. And here are the rotation schedule information right there from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 6B, 8B, 7B, 7A, and 8A. From 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., 7C, 6A, RR, 9A, which is the Ridge Road. And then from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., 9D, 7D, and 7E. Now, the authority apologizes for any inconvenience caused by these interruptions. Log on to www.viwapa.vi for more information on the feeder numbers and the areas. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Keeping our eye on the economy, the Better Business Bureau has a new scam alert. Clicking on a link inside a text message stating you've won a free gift card could lead to unwanted charges. The BBB says if you receive a suspicious text message, delete it. Here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 75, Nasdaq 31, S&P 13. Coming up on News 2 and some other news, Traffic Investigation Bureau officers are investigating a fatal car accident that occurred on the Queen Mary Highway on July 31st that left a 21-year-old dead. Plus, in our Summer Fun segment, how about taking a tour around the Virgin Islands on a scooter? Many love the fun and freedom on hopping on one of these. Details coming up. Governor John P. Young Jr. has named Jean-Pierre Auriol as the acting commissioner of DPNR following the resignation of Alicia Barnes, which we reported that took effect at the end of the day on Friday. Auriol served in various capacities at DPNR for over 14 years. He recently served as the director of the Division of Coastal Zone Management at DPNR, including the major permit application review team and on the watershed initiatives of the territory's Coral Reef Initiative. The 1995 graduate of All States Cathedral School and 1999 graduate of Brandeis University holds a bachelor's degree in biology and is presently pursuing a master's degree in marine and environmental science at UVI. Traffic Investigation Bureau officers are investigating a fatal car accident that occurred on the Queen Mary Highway on July 31st, minutes before 8 p.m. The deceased driver is identified as 21-year-old Clarence Randolph of Mutual Homes Housing Community.
The traffic officers said their initial investigation into the accident showed that a 2005 gray Toyota Sequoia was traveling west and a white Acura driven by Randolph was traveling east on the Queen Mary Highway in the vicinity of Castlebrook when they collided in the westbound lane. Officers said the Acura veered into the westbound lane and collided with the Sequoia. Both vehicles sustained major damage. Both drivers were taken to the Governor Juan F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center. The driver of the Acura was treated for her injuries, and Randolph, who was the driver of the Sequoia, died as a result of the accident.
It's time for our summer fun segment. Love to ride in the open air? Well, here's a great way to tour all of the Virgin Islands on scooters. Many say they are a lot of fun, and nothing compares to the freedom of being able to just jump on a scooter and motor around in tight places. Nothing beats the fuel costs as well. You can also save on parking and get into places where cars can't. You can always keep in mind safety. Now, each company can brief you on the precautions. There are many scooter rental companies in the Virgin Islands with daily and weekly rates. A motor scooter has a seat, a floorboard, and small or low wheels. Traditionally, scooter wheels are smaller than conventional motorcycle wheels and are made of pressed steel or cast aluminum alloy, bolt on easily, and often are interchangeable between front and rear. Well, if you were looking to get your chili on Sunday, the 13th annual United Way of St. Croix Chili Cook-Off was the place to be. Held at the DV Carina Bay Beach Resort, now attendance was down significantly this year, but that didn't dampen the enthusiasm. There were plenty of smiles as first place went to Maria's Cantina with her delicious Mexi chili.
My favorite chili so far has been Maria Cantana.
Yeah, she boils down those spices perfectly.
I'm enjoying the music, the weather, no rain.
I am a big supporter of United Way, and I'm happy that I could be out here this year again, offering and lending support to the organization for the fine work that they do.
Okay, well, congratulations to all the winners there. Now, how long can we expect the moisture in our area as Tropical Storm Bertha, made her way out of the territory? Be sure to stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Well, thankfully today a lot quieter than what the weekend was when we had to deal with Tropical Storm Bertha, which by the way now is a hurricane and pulling northward. But behind Bertha, not much today. Doppler radar shows nothing currently across the islands. There are a couple of showers south and east of St. Croix, but there is another tropical wave that we are watching. In fact, you can see the leading edge of it on the cloud photograph just pushing across the islands right now. You'll notice behind it all of these clouds. Looks like popcorn. That's areas of moisture, even some spotty showers that will continue to drift from east to west over the next couple of days. So we're going to be dealing with this at least through Wednesday, and that means there will be a shower or two in the area, but nothing really organized and certainly nothing really heavy to deal with. Partly cloudy tonight, again, just a passing shower or two, and these showers will be fast moving, 15-20 minutes, some downpours, but they again won't last more than about 20 minutes, so they're in and they're out. About 74, 75 up along the hills, 79, 80 in the lower elevations. Tomorrow, cloud, sun, I can see a shower or two at any time. Now, I do believe that there's at least going to be a shower or two, but there's going to be stretches where it's not doing much of anything tomorrow. So if you want to get out, you should be able to enjoy the day. Just keep an eye to the sky throughout the time frame. 84 degrees or so up along the hills, 89, 90 in the lower elevations, St. Thomas and St. John. In St. Croix, we're looking at a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Again, there's going to be a couple of showers around anytime throughout the day, 15 to 20 minutes in duration, some downpours. But again, I'm not looking at any widespread problems tomorrow, certainly not with flooding. Out on the waters tomorrow, do be careful. Small craft operators exercise caution in the Atlantic. Winds from the east-northeast, 12 to 17 knots. Waves will average 4 to 6 feet. Similar conditions again in the Caribbean as well, 4 to 6 foot waves and winds from the east up to 17 knots. All right. That one tropical wave, you can see it clearly moving through the islands right now. We're watching another band of moisture well out here around 25, 30 degrees west. This will continue its movement to the east and to the north over the next couple of days. That will be arriving as we head into the upcoming weekend. Your News2 AccuWeather extended outlook. Again, a couple of showers on Tuesday. Wednesday, nothing more than a passing shower. Then I think we're going to dry things out on Thursday. Then that next tropical wave that I talked about around 25 degrees west will be arriving at some point on Friday. Clouds, some sun, couple of showers, also a shower or two as we head into the weekend. Nothing organized, nothing heavy as far as rainfall. But again, there's at least going to be a couple of showers around the next couple of days. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that. Time for our News2 weather picture. It's by Mia Joseph, third grader representing the Joseph Gomez Elementary School. And Mia didn't see too much sunshine this weekend, and hoping for that exact scenario there as we head to this weekend. Mia, keep it right here. We will keep you updated. Thanks for that. Send us your News2 weather picture too. News2 weather, number 1000 Belgian Road, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 00802. Be sure to stick around. News2 Sports is coming up next.
After 4 training camps and watching his brother and cousin kick off the biggest summer yet for 340 boxing, Julius Jackson stepped into the ring on his birthday to defend his middleweight title against Argentina's Crespuyo Andino, and the chef could not have cooked up a better result. 27th birthday, with his father in his corner, Julius the Chef Jackson set out to be quick and decisive in the first bout to defend his super middleweight WBA FIDA Bowl title against Crespuyo Javier Andino in Cordoba, Argentina. Andino was aggressive from the early goings, but Jackson remained patient and managed to bring the Argentinian to his knees twice in the first round before putting him down with a crushing body blow 1 minute and 47 seconds into the second round and successfully defending his title. Jackson says after all the waiting and hard work, the second round victory just makes him hungrier to get back in the ring.
I actually want to fight again, though. I'm ready to go again. You know, I didn't feel satisfied, you know, with that just second round. I want to go again. So we'll see. That's hard, you know. That sacrifice for so long is really tough. But I'm happy now, you know, that I get to relax and off a big win, and I feel like it lifts the team a little, and that's always a good feeling to just, you know, be on the top and keep going. So I think we're just in this this uphill, just this uphill motion right now, you know, and I think it's just going to keep going.
Now, John and Julius have trained as sparring partners for world champion middleweight Sergio Martinez. Currently, Martinez trains and manages former world champion Gabriel Campillo, who was in the territory this spring training with the 340 boxing camp. Campillo was also in the ring Friday night and treated Thomas Williams Jr. to his first career knockout. The 35-year-old Campillo downed Williams by TKO in the 5th round and took his WBO NABO light heavyweight title. The USVI men's senior national basketball team suffered 2 big losses in the 2014 Central Basket Tournament this weekend. The VI's men turned in 2 identical performances, ironically, in their first 2 tournament openers. On Sunday, they battled neighboring island Puerto Rico and fell behind early 22-8, and they never caught up. Khalil Hart managed 11 points and Cuthbert Victor just 10 points. And Puerto Rico's J.J. Brea dropped 25 points on the way to total dominance by the Puerto Rican squad. They took Sunday's match 97-64 over the VI, who ironically posted 64 points in their loss to Mexico during their Friday opener as well. That puts the VI down 2-0 in tournament play. Taylor Canfield has all he can handle defending his match race sailing title. The latest leg of the Alpari series in Sopot, Poland, was the BI Canfield's finish. He saw him finish 3rd after going 10-1 in the days leading into the weekend. Canfield trails the UK's Ian Williams and Matthew Richard of France, but beat out Phil Robertson of New Zealand for the 3rd spot. The next match race on the tour begins September 17th when the Chicago Match Race Cup begins.
As always, thanks for that, Monica. And we'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest in news, weather, and sports. We'll see you next time.